Hey, how's everybody? Another big storm moved through last night. Strangest thing. I take Lucy out for a walk about 8 o'clock. I look up in the sky. There's not a cloud in it. Come back in the house. And within 20 minutes, we've got a major storm hitting us. Thunder, lightning, tons of rain. It's just amazing down here. Really, 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 really well. Well, I think people are learning they can stand up to Trump now. I think public opinion is getting on their side, you know. As hard as that may seem, which is saying that, you know, screw you, Donnie. You know what I'm saying? So, screw you, Donnie. Anyhow, everything is the way it is. But people are standing up to him, and you know, that's all you got to do, because it's the one thing bullies can't take, is when people stand up to him. And he's a bully and he is a coward, okay? And if you doubt that, well, just look at his history, okay? It's just the way the man is. There's nothing you can do about that. So it's necessary that you stand up to him. Now, one big thing about these Saturday rallies, he is going to try to create violence. He's going to send ICE agents in, pushing and shoving people around to start a riot, okay? If you exhaust every reasonable method and you cannot stop them and you cannot defend yourselves, then stomp them into the ground. But realize that within the next 8 to 12 hours, you're going to have National Guardsmen crawling up your ass, and he's going to put the Insurrection Act into policy, into action. All right. So be careful. Don't let him upset you. You know, if Martin Luther King can get 1 million people to walk up and sit on a lawn. What is it? Is the White House lawn? It wasn't that. Where was it? Well, wherever it was, the Lincoln Memorial or wherever it was, he had 1 million people down there, and no violence. Then I think you guys can all get it together. All right. Even though they're going to try and start it, they're going to send agitators into the group, you know, and start trouble and blame you guys. You need to stay strong. Okay. Don't react to him. He's not worth it. Alright, that's coming up Saturday across the nation, actually across the world, so, you know, that's something to look into. Now, in colleges now are showing backbone. They're saying no to Trump money. He can't buy them. Now, some colleges can't afford to say no, and I understand that, if they want to exist. But these are major institutions, these are universities, and they're saying no to the fat man. Actually, the fat little boy, because that's what he is, just a fat little boy. All right? So, stick with this, and let's stop him now, you know, before he really gets any more power or anything like that, okay? You may have heard that Trump has said that Israel can go back to war as soon as I say so. I can tell them to go back in there and start fighting all over again. Let me explain Israel to you folks. They do not care. If they decide they want to do it, they're doing it whether Trump says yes or no. Believe me. Trump doesn't, they have enough weapons to take out that whole area in 2 or 3 days, just like they did in Gaza, just like they did in the 6 Day War. If they want to take that area, they'll take that area. All right? I think they tried to salvage some of it the last few times. This time they won't. If they go in, they won't try to salvage anything. They'll level the country. all right, or the area. I don't know whether that's a country or not, but whatever. I already talked about the protests this weekend all over the world. No kings, okay? I would like to see somebody be able to gather 1 million people and have them marching through the city of Washington and end up at the Lincoln Memorial, which I think is where they did the last time, and have some great speaker up there like, well, let's say President Obama. He would be the man. He's the greatest orator I know in the country right now, and he would be the man to talk to these people. And that would be the beginning of the end of the Trump bully party. Okay? Just, Trump should understand one thing. If this doesn't work, if he continues to bully everybody and everything else, they're going to take him apart. Okay? They're going to do a January 6th to him. And that government, I don't care what size your army is, ain't prepared for that one either. All right? Okay, moving right along. The vehicle involved in that incident with the woman and everything has been moved to Oklahoma, 1,000 miles away or something like that. And it's needed as evidence. So this is just another method that ICE and the Justice Department are using to hide everything, It's stupid. They're going to get caught. They're already caught. They already know that the vehicle has been moved to. So, it's probably being tampered with as we speak. So that the evidence is no good. That's the way they are. They can't stand the truth. The truth will kill them. So they hide the truth. They try to bury the truth. It's just like the Epstein files. Now, I, honest to God, don't know what everybody's so upset about. Everybody and their mother knows that Trump is in those files. All right, that he's a pedophile. He's a sexual abuser. He's a scumbag. We all know this, but nobody's going to do anything about it. So what difference does it make if the Epstein files come out? The only reason can be there are other people in that Epstein file that nobody wants to see come out, that would really destroy them, because they're not suspected in so much, There would be a huge surprise if these people showed up in it. I mean, how do you now this is just an if, so don't get excited. I have no facts. This is not a factual statement. This is an if. If J.D. Vance were to show up in the Epstein files, that would be a surprise. That would be catastrophic for the Republican Party. Because now you've got the president and the vice president involved in predatory sexual behavior. Now that would be something. Do I think he's in it? I don't know. I would tend to doubt it. I think they'd be too smart to have him around, because I think he's just, he's one of those people who would just turn everything over, We'd all have the tapes by now if he was in it. He would find some way to talk his way out of it. All right. Now you've got Bolton, who was, I believe, an advisor or a Secretary of Defense to Trump in his first term. I don't remember exactly what his position was, but he was in the administration in the first term until Trump fired him. And now he's indicted. Now, some of the stuff he did is exactly what Trump did when he left the Oval Office. He took documents with him when he left. He discussed security concerns with his wife. Okay, all which are impeachable and prosecutable offenses with which Trump walked away from. Okay? Because Trump should be in jail for treason. He shouldn't be a discussion going on right now. So that's, something to be taken into consideration. But Donnie, oh man, I don't really think he's playing dumb. He didn't know about the Bolton indictment. If that's the case, and Bondi is the Attorney General, she should be fired instantly. Because this is going to cause, trust me, this can cause Trump nightmares with what this guy knows. All you need is the right person to come in and ask the right questions. And it's all over for Donnie, from a legal point of view. He's not going to give a shit, but, he believes he has total immunity from everything. Okay, that's where you run into a problem with him. He's only immune from most criminal acts committed in a specific manner while he's president. He's not totally unindictable. All right, they can get him for treason. That's not. He has no immunity for treason, and he doesn't realize that. And he's going to make a mistake, and the American people are going to revolt. And there's still a chance we can get to watch him being dragged out of the White House in chains. There's still a possibility of that. And that's what I told you. I live for that. That's my big go-to thing. I want to see him dragged out of the White House, kicking and screaming in chains. Take that smug expression off his face and have tears, crocodile tears, running down his eyes. And what would be better yet is if they did it and he's in his pajamas, or whatever he wears at night. They walk in the bedroom and drag him out. That's what I'd like to see. Of course, it won't happen because everybody's there to defend the President of the United States, because it's hard to put him in jail because he has to have Secret Service protection. But if you impeach him, I'm not sure, and he loses, and he's impeached and removed from office that way, I'm not sure if his protection stays with him or not. I think he could lose his protection, just like he took it away from Kamala and everybody else, because which was a good thing. They don't need it anyhow, Nobody's going to shoot Kamala because she's a non-entity as far as the opponent goes for Trump. She just doesn't exist. I know that a lot of women out there and a lot of supporters of Kamala are saying, well, that's not so true. She's the voice of the Democratic Party. Where was her voice after January 20th, when the election was certified? Where was his voice? Where was her voice? I want to know. Actually, it goes back to November when she lost. She never said jack shit after that. She went hiding. Nobody saw her. She went and stood in the corner and cried. How could I have lost? How could I have lost? Because you didn't play the game, lady. You were dumb. You were too attached to somebody that was hated. And I don't hate Biden. I think he's a nice guy. Maybe he made some mistakes. I don't really know, because none of what he did ever affected me. So I didn't follow it too closely back then. I watched Trump because Trump scared the hell out of me. Biden never scared me. He could have run the economy into the ground and he still would have come back. Trump runs it into the ground, it's never coming back. We're going to be a third world nation. I know what it's like to live in a third world nation, okay? Even in these days, all right? I know what it's like to live in a second class country, or third class. I'm not sure where it is where I am now. And I'll tell you one thing, it's better than the United States right now. And that's a sad tale, folks. That's a truly sad tale. And you're watching people trying to leave the United States. Well, you can leave the United States. Giving up your citizenship isn't that easy. That costs a lot of money, and the average citizen isn't going to be able to do that, But the average citizen can walk across the border into Mexico or Canada and set up a house and buy a house and everything else. Problem is, he's going to be like me. My banking's in the United States. for the present time, because it cost me too much money with the fees and everything that the banks charge down here to put my Social Security check in the bank down here. And they'll do it. But it's not, what I want. But that's, neither here nor there. What's today? Friday. Oh, wow. And end of another week, people. Sunday, my wife goes for a spinal tap to find out what's wrong with her legs and everything. I'm kind of worried about that, but I'll have to deal with it. And that's, what it means is if something happens to me, I got nobody to take care of me. So, kind of a frustrating existence, but it's okay. I'll live with it. I'm not going for any major illness. I'm just going to dead. So, I can handle that, right? Huh? All right, listen up. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know what time the marches and everything start tomorrow, but I'll have early, because I come on this will be posted by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is 12 o'clock up there. You guys are an hour ahead of me, so we'll have to see what happens here tomorrow. But I'll be here, and whatever stories I can find, and I'll be there. And you won't have to worry if you subscribe. You'll be able to be up. You'll be notified if I come on special or something like that tomorrow. You'll know, So come on, do it. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. And at the present time, I'm not making any money off of it, okay? So I have no potential sponsors lined up or anything like that if I get enough subscribers. So it's just me. So, and I could use a little help down here, with hitting the subscribe button gives me a better position on YouTube. And I know you say, oh, you don't want the better position, you should take them off YouTube altogether. Well, I'll find some other place to go if you do that. That's because I got to talk, All right, everybody. We'll see you in the morning tomorrow. Don't forget the subscribe button. Hey, and you can comment if you want. And you can just like it if you want, That's okay with me. Take it easy.